Hello again. Please, before you go for any loan in maybe Bank of Industry, LAPO, rent money, fair money, all this CBN license, genuine Microfinance Bank, please watch this video. Now, I'm going to use, they used, all of them, they practically use the same templates. Yeah, the only difference is maybe variation in interest. Now, let me use this as a case study. This guy borrowed 1.8 million naira. Of course, to them, 1.8 million, 316 naira. But they will transfer 1.8 million naira to this guy. And he's going to pay back weekly. So the flat interest rate, this is not monthly interest rate, this is weekly interest rate. Now, if you check the interest rate, 1.3 times 4, that's this guy is paying 5.42 per month. You know, it's fair, which is okay. An average microfinance, this is what they charge, which is, to you, you will assume, oh, this is better. That is why if you want to borrow money from any microfinance or financial institution, whatever you want to use, make sure that the money you want, don't use the money and invest it in a business that you will not get the turnover. That thing will swallow you up. Let's continue. You understand why you must be careful if you want to borrow money. Now, when you go to, so this guy is going to pay back eventually. Is going to the first week he's going to pay 152,000, and the subsequent week he's going to be paying 113,000 per month. All right. So by the time, per week rather, which to you 1.8 million. Let me get 1.8 million, and then I will be able to sort out the number of things. Not knowing that you are actually destroying yourself, because every week you'll be removing 100,000 naira from the capital and be giving it back to them, because they expect you that, oh, the money should have generated something, so that you perpetually depend on them. And then early termination fee of 1.5%. And if there is any, you also agree that if there is any overdue, they're going to add 1% interest on monthly basis. I'm going to explain that to you. Now, this is where the problem lies. So there is a 1% flat rate of overdue interest. I'm going to calculate that for you. Now, if you go to, at the end of it all, so this guy is going to pay back 2.7 million naira for 1.8. So the interest on that loan is about 800,000 naira within the space of 6 months. 28 weeks is about 6 months. Let's do the math. 28 weeks, that's 28 divided by 4. So that was about 7 months. Now, under 7 months, we are going to pay back 856,000. And 856,000 is about 50%. Let me check it. So 856 is about 45, not up to 40, let's say 45% per month. That is exactly what the amount you are going to pay. You are going to pay 45%. Let's just do the math by ourselves. So if you are paying 1.38 multiplied by 4, that's for 1 month, times 7. So you are paying 38.6%. But unfortunately, if you calculate this 38.6%, you're going to get, multiplied by 30.6% multiplied by 1.8 million divided by 100. So you have to pay on your interest alone. That's ideally your interest. You are supposed to pay 695,000. But because of buffer, because of insurance, because of management fee 1%, and all that, they added a management fee. Because of this management fee and everything that, let me see if I can get the management fee. Okay, so because of management fee and every other thing, they added extra 10 or 15% buffer to it. So practically you are paying 45%. You understand how it works? So you are paying 45% with their management fee and everything. So they expanded it to 10%. Now, this is where the problem lies. Now, to you, when you see this thing, for the first month, you are not going to pay anything for the first month. 0.00000. You're not going to pay everything, which is a very good thing. That is why, if you want to borrow money from microfinance, you need to make sure that you are getting daily money, or else you will kill yourself. Now, all the amounts you are supposed to pay for the first month, you are going to pay it first week of the fifth month. You are going to pay it. So you are paying the principal. You are paying 54,000 naira. The interest you are paying 50,000 plus the grace period. This is the grace period. Do you get that now? If you go to Lapo, the same thing. Lapo will give you extra 1 month, as in 1 month free, that you will not pay anything. They will not pay everything at once. So for the grace period, all the grace period, you are paying it here. So 56,000 naira. At the end of it, you are going to be paying a payment due is 152,000. Now, and you keep paying 130,000, 130,000, 130,000, 130,000, 113,000, and all that. Notice that the interest we keep, you keep returning the interest, returning like that, which is this is a standard practice. Now, this is where the problem lies. The moment you default on this loan, just one default, maybe you are unable to pay for a particular week, and they will now add for that month, they will add 1%. They will add 1% on that loan. They will add 1%. So let's do the math. 1% on the loan, and that 1% will be for this loan for the first 3 months. For this month now, this one they will add 0.5%, 1%, 1%, 1%. Now, if you are unable to pay for a very long time, they will keep adding 1% on each of these loans. 1% for this month. Let's say this is month 1, 2, 3, 4. They will keep adding 1% for this, 1% for this, 1% for the following third month, 1% the fourth month, 1% the fifth month, 1% sixth month. So at the end of the month, after you are unable to pay at all for the remaining 27, 28 weeks, maybe after 28 weeks, you now wanted to pay. The problem is this: the overdue interest on that loan will now be 1% of, let's say you're supposed to, under normal condition, you're supposed to pay 113, 113, 8110 multiplied by 4. So which is you're supposed to pay 450,000 naira for that month. Now divided by multiplied by 1% now. So divided by 100. So we're going to be paying 4,552 naira every month for month 1. Month 2, you pay another one. Month 3, you pay another one. Month 4, you pay another one. 5, 6, 7. So at the end of the 8th month, you are not going to be paying 1% again. You are going to be paying, that is 8 times now. So you are supposed to pay for 8 months. So it's going to be 8 multiplied by, that's 8% multiplied by the amount you borrow from them. That is 8. It's not going to be 8% instead of 1%, because they're going to treat it as as an individual loan, not on the entire loan. They're going to treat it like that, and they will keep adding it every month. You know the annoying part. The moment you stop paying, the moment you start paying gradually, your interest will keep accumulating. That's the problem. So the interest alone, that's 8% in a month, multiplied by 10 months, or let's say 12 months now. Let's say 12, multiplied by 12 months. It will now, you have, within the space of 1 year, your money, you're supposed to pay 1.8 million, it will now be 3.2 million. That is 96%. That is what you are going to pay. 96%, that's 96% of the money is what you are going to pay. If you stop paying for a whole year, 96%. So the best way you can go, the best way you can solve this problem is, number one, you need to make sure that this is that you pay off. If it is microfinance, Lapo, the rest, you have to pay. You pay if it's Lapo. That's why we are warning, we are crying that you should stop borrowing from loan apps. They will ruin you financially. Under normal condition, what you need to do, if you know that you don't have money, don't, except you restructure the loan. Don't say, let me be paying small. The whole thing will just be, you will just be renewing the interest. You just be paying for the interest without touching the principal and the principal and the initial interest. You will only be renewing the overdue interest. So if you have defaulted on loan, I'm not referring to loan now, please. I'm referring to banks, microfinance banks, Lapo and the rest, and this money and go. Make sure you have a negotiation with them that they should pause the loan, they should pause the interest. If they're not going to pause the interest, under CBN law, after 3 months, they're supposed to stop adding overdue interest to it. If they're not going to do that, any money you pay, you are just wasting your money. So what you need to do is go to them, let them negotiate, they'll pause it. Make sure they pause the loan and the interest, overdue interest. Then you now create you now restructure the loan and pay off. If it is now 1 month or 9 months or 3 months or 6 months, pay off. Don't get this habit of, okay, you have 50,000 today, take it. You will only be servicing overdue interest. You just be servicing overdue interest. Make sure the moment you default on a loan, stop paying gradual money. Let's say, I don't. The agent will come to you and say, "Oh yeah, pay small, pay this one." Don't listen to them. Go to their office. Please, I'm not referring to loan apps. Go to their office. Be bold enough to say, "This is what the law says." They are under the law. If you check the agreement, you see that they are under law, under the CBN policy. Go to their office. Negotiate. They say, 5,000, yeah, play, take. The agents are coming. They want to trouble you. 6,000, pay. You are only killing yourself. That's just it. Negotiate that this is what I am ready to offer you. And that solves the problem. Thank you.